Our main initial focus has been on the timings and as to whether we can basically accept and believe what the government is saying. And why are we questioning that? We're questioning that because that track record isn't good at all by any measure. We need to remember, and people can forget this, that in 2015 they had an electoral promise to build Hassan Centenary, Bob Belisa Mews, right? And we are still in the process of building those, at least Bob Belisa Mews as far as phase 2 is concerned, and people are still having to move into Hassan Centenary. In 2017, they promised Chatham Views, and that is still hasn't been delivered. So for the Chief Minister to say on behalf of his government that he is confident that he's going to start delivering flats in this new project by 2028 is, quite frankly, for us, on the basis of that track record, unbelievable.
And what does the GSD make of the project itself?
Well, as far as certainly I am concerned, I think that reclamation is required. Gibraltar is I'm making an obvious point. It's a small place. Many people want to live here, and we have an increasing population, and that needs to be addressed, and we need to house our people. In fact, one of the issues that we have is that as a result of the delays in respect of the projects that I've just mentioned, it has an effect on an entire generation of Gibraltarians, where you're having 20, 30-year-olds who are still living with their parents and cannot get on with their lives. That is a very serious issue of concern for us. So we think it is good that there ought to be a plan, but there has to be a plan. There has to be a vision, not this sort of what seems to me a knee-jerk reaction simply to, I don't know, the Chief Minister seems to think that he is still in election mode. And simply to whet the appetite of individuals there who are hankering for a solution. And I think that to play with people's feelings in this way, when you know probably deep down that you're not going to be able to deliver, given the track record, as I've said already, in relation to the other projects is concerned, is quite frankly lamentable.
You've mentioned young people who want to get on with their lives, but won't this be a welcome announcement that there is movement in this area? I mean, the Chief Minister has said that the heads of terms, as you said, has been signed. He's given an idea of the area and how this will be split. Has there not been some progress?
Oh yes, there's progress insofar as there's been as he has said, he's entered into heads of terms, and he's issued this rather basic, if I may say, with the greatest respect to whoever designed it, of the area that's going to be reclaimed, which is a bit of white coloured over the sea by the area where the reclamation is going to be situated. But beyond that, we don't have any details. So this is why I question, I question basically whether it is actually going to be happening in reality and certainly in good time. So I understand why people are going to be receiving this with an element of positivity, because they are hankering for homes. But I'm not sure whether the government will be in fact delivering. We have to, as an opposition, question whether this particular project is going to be delivered, and certainly delivered on time.
You've also mentioned planning considerations in the area, such as schools, traffic and construction in an already built up area. So would the GSD want to see construction in this particular area?
Well, what we are saying is that we need a development plan. We're now well overdue in relation to that plan by a period of about, I think, 5 or 6 years. And we need to have a plan, which is the basic point that we make. I mean, here we have a situation where we have to have, all we've had is an announcement by the government saying that they're going to be building 1,000 flats. This is already in a built-up area. This is going to require, traffic considerations. There are going to be environmental considerations. I hear of complaints and concerns from the rowing clubs, for example, and how will it affect their sport. And so there are all these considerations, which the schooling, for example, that need to be taken full account of. And it really seems very odd that the government is now in the process of producing its development plan. It's gone out for tender. Good money's been paid in order to produce that plan, and it's now making these announcements almost before the plan is ready. So I just don't see that there is any forward thinking into the future in relation to these issues, and they simply come up with these announcements just because I suspect because it looks good and for them it makes political sense.